Hello, everybody. Yes, I realize that this Throwback Wednesday is a bit late. I missed Wednesday because I was out, and I could have very well skipped out on this Wednesday, but I didn't. I wanted to upload a video this week. So today's Friday, not Wednesday, but it is still going to be Throwback Wednesday today. So today we're taking a look at the 2005 film The Cave, where a bunch of marine biologists go and explore these caves. The cave crumbles in on them and they get lost. And there are horrible creatures residing down in these underground caves. So, with that being said, let's roll the intro and get started. So, in the movie, we start off the movie where a bunch of marine scientists and biologists are just hanging out on the beach somewhere. Looks like they're fishing, and they get a call to check something out. And so their team has discovered that there is an ancient cave deep underground. Parts of it are flooded, but there's a great chance that they could go in there and discover tons of new resources. So they agree to go inside and check this cave out. So they blow up the entrance to the cave and they get down in there. And as they get down in there, the cave caves in on them, and so they're trapped in the cave trying to find another way out. And as they enter the cave and walk around the cave and everything like that, they soon discover that they are not the only organic life form in there. There are tiny, sort of muskrat, salamander looking creatures in the cave, and they soon discover that there are also bigger threats than just a salamander muskrat. There are these giant demon-like creatures with huge wings and sharp talons, and they look pretty scary, pretty terrifying. Their behavior is very different. They have characteristics of a monkey, of a bat, and other such animals. So, yeah, very interesting. It'd be really interesting if the movie actually explained what these animals evolved from, because obviously these creatures have been in isolation in underground tunnels and caverns that were since closed off before they discovered the tunnels. So you can imagine that these creatures, being isolated their whole life, went through immense amounts of evolutionary breakthroughs to turn into the creatures that we see in the movie. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I like it. And the creatures, of course, are kind of like zombie like creatures. So if they scratch you or anything like that, they carry these parasites on them. And the parasites then get passed to you. And then you start turning into, I believe, one of those types of creatures, because we never really see any of the characters who do get infected with these parasites turn into a monster, but we do see their personalities change. Their eyes become these horrible, scary looking monster eyes, and they look very, very creepy looking. But you never actually see them full on change into a monster. Just their eyes change, and their whole persona, their whole way of thinking changes. And it seems like anyone infected with the virus, they can see the other the other creatures, which is pretty cool. And I really like how one of the characters who got infected was actually showing everybody, okay, what's going on. The monsters, they're hunting, they're searching, they're intelligent, blah blah blah. So I liked that they included that the guy who got bit by one of these creatures and got infected with the virus that they were carrying could all of a sudden learn how the creatures think and how they behave in order so that they could survive, which I thought was a cool idea. So yeah, I don't exactly remember what they were looking for outside of just resources, but they do get trapped when the cave caves in and they try to find another way out, and they eventually do, but of course the creatures are standing right in the way they need to go to get out. So they fight these creatures, they explode a bomb in their nest, which kills a bunch of them, and that buys them time in order to escape, and they find a river which leads out of the cave and into the world. And so yeah, then they're saved, and yeah, so the movie is pretty good, and the movie ends really. I really hope that they would have made the sequel, but this movie was made years ago. But so they find out that one of the female biologists and one of the scientists were having a dinner date in what looks like Paris, and she says, "I was worried that the parasites could only. I was wondering the parasites could only live in a cave environment, but now I'm not so sure." And she kisses him, and her eyes are like all looking like the monster eyes, like the other guy during the film. And then the movie just sort of ends. I'm like, ooh. So yeah, there's a way they could make a sequel, but I don't see them making it since this movie was made years ago. But yeah, it's a great movie. I enjoyed it. The monster design was the monster design was interesting. I liked it. I wish they would have elaborated more on what these giant dragon, bat, monkey things were evolved from, because they were obviously evolved from something. As we see that those little muskrat creatures were obviously a muskrat, and they were also a salamander. But these huger creatures, the ones that are more importantly the antagonists of the movie, I wish they could have elaborated on what these things were before they became these horrible creatures that we see in the movie. And as we see from the creatures, their eyesight is not very good either. Their eyesight they rely on movement. Their eyesight always looks like water. When they look through their eyes, you see, because there's a lot of shots in the movie from the creature's perspective, where the creature is watching our characters, our characters go through the caves and stuff, and it's just kind of sitting there watching, and we could see through its eyes. Its eyes kind of look like how you look through a distorted lens. That's what they see. So I'm pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting. This movie. It's a great movie. I liked it. It's got a pretty slow start, but then it sort of kicks off once they hit the cave, and all of these creatures start chasing them through the cave and kill most of the characters. But yeah, definitely check it out. It's available on demand for $5. So if you want to check that out, be sure to do so, because it is a pretty nice movie if you're into creature features and sort of that isolated horror. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Do take care. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video, and have a great day.